fixing the weak spot on an exhaust on a 02 Mini.
This is where they can go at this junction where the long pipe meets the exhaust box. They just crack and go. The weld there rusts away.
So I have the Mini jacked up and I have it on these axle stands here that you drive up onto, and they're brilliant because they allow you to
Raise the car even higher. They've got little bottle jacks underneath them, and they're absolutely fantastic for getting another couple of inches out of the raise. So I'm just going to pump this one up. So I'm probably going to loosen these ones at the back box first. Then there's 6 held on by a plate in the middle, and then there's 2 17mm bolts down at the catalytic converter end. I'm just going to slacken these off here. There's 2 bolts that hold like a metal brace on the exhaust.
So this is the plate that holds the exhaust in the middle between the 17mm bolts down there, the cat, and the back box. So there's 6 10mm bolts you want to get off here. Right, these are the 2 17mm beside the cat, and they're a bugger to get to, and you need the car fairly high up. And I would go for that top one first, because once you loosen the bottom one, the sort of pressure seems to go on the top one. So I'd slacken off the top one first. On this one, 17 on both sides, but on the previous Mini I had, it was 15 on one side and 14 on the other. So just to be aware, they can change depending on the exhaust place to put them on. I've got the exhaust over that end, and I've got just an axle stand ready for the exhaust to come down onto that to keep it at a decent height. And now I'm just going to do the 6 10mm bolts that are on here. I've just positioned a jack under the back box here. This is the exhaust, it's off the car now. This is the way it runs down. And this here is the weak spot. This is where they tend to go. That joint where the pipe meets the back box gets very rusty and wears away, and then with the flex between the back box and the pipe, it just cracks it open and breaks away there. So I've already had a crack at grinding down the rust last week in preparation for welding, but I didn't have the welding gas, so I've got that now. So I'm just going to cut a strip of metal from an old bonnet, make it into a circle, and then I'm just going to tidy up where this is going to go and then grind it down so it's bare metal so I can weld. This is what I'm using, just a crust here, and I'll just put a drop of this on. I'm going to go over this again with a grinder just to grind back the bare metal where the supporting piece of metal is going to be, but just to get some of the rust covered up. So I have a little bit of the crust now on just where that joint is. I'm going to weld over the top of this anyway, so I'm just hoping that holds things back a little bit and doesn't get too burnt off by the heat of the exhaust. Put another little spot there, put another little spot around where the pipe just exits it as well. That's got a lot of rust on it too. Again, probably isn't going to do much, will get burnt off. But listen, it might just slow things down a little bit, and that's all you can ask for on a 22-year-old exhaust. Okay, so that's the piece of metal that I've cut to go around the exhaust. It's just a bit of old Volvo bonnet got from somebody. I've cut a couple of little cutouts just where the seam of the back box goes, just to allow it to go a little bit further up. So I'm just going to get a grinder and then just grind down so we got clean metal all the way around for the welding. Alright, I'm just going to grind this down to nice shiny metal now, just for the welding. This is where I'm at. I've got the metal band around. It's all made shiny again, and all the metal around it's made as shiny as I can get to. I'll just get a few spots of weld, and then I'll take that Jubilee clip off. This is my welding setup here. It's an R-Tech MIG 180 inverter MIG welder. Very, very good. So far the best welder I've ever had. Just tell you what I'm using in it. I'm using a large spool of 0.8mm wire. You need the large spool, and in terms of gas I'm using Hobby Weld because the small ones run out too quick. Hobby Weld, now this one I think is 5% argon, and then there's this G-Tech Star Parts, the regulators. So I'm just going to open this up, hopefully we'll see some pressure come up on this. There we go. Whoa. Turn that on. Should be a hiss of gas. There you go. I've got the earth cable down there on that part of the exhaust. So this is the quality of my welding. It isn't great. It needs to be dressed down a little bit first. Already started on that, but I just thought I won't try and hide how wonderful a welder I am by making it all look neat and tidy afterwards. It isn't neat and tidy, it's a bloody mess, but that's what my skill level is, unfortunately. So I'm going to dress that down now and spray a bit of galvanic silver spray on it, which hopefully will keep it sort of rust protected and stand up to the heat. So we'll see. So I'll just quickly show you what it looks like when it's dressed up. And there's a good few out there saying not a lot better, but it's a little neater. Obviously I didn't want to take away too much of the material I put on, but it's just a bit tidier. This side less so, it's a bit messier looking. Again, it's not really about the prettiness, it's an exhaust weld. Just to add in a wee bit of strength. So I've added that band in, it's welded in, loads of weld, it'll be stronger. Okay, so there's a little bit of colour on it now. Just a high temperature spray, just to maybe help with to keep the rust away. Now I've obviously stripped that down, so yeah, not the neatest fix, but it's only an exhaust, good enough. Put it back on. The other bits where there were rust, I've just put a bit of spray on them too. So put it back on. Hopefully that'll stop that. Something else will probably end up going before that does. So we'll give it a crack. Oh, that's more than enough. So I'm just going to put this screw back in here. Go with the longer one first. I'll just make it easier to fit it up there. Now just get these in loosely as well, and then you've roughly got the right position then. So that plate's back on. I just did the 6 bolts up to 14 Newton meters. They don't need to be tight, they just need to hold it in place. So the 6 of them there. Move on to the exhaust where it meets the downpipe here, where it meets the catalytic converter. 17mm nuts and bolts here. I'm going to do these up to about 30-35 Newton meters. And don't forget the little gasket that goes in between too. Let's put that there. That's the exhaust done up now. Just start it up and see.